What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Now, entertainers have went into Hollywood. And I'm saying this as far as those in the music scene. We've seen it with Janet Jackson, people like Tupac, Will Smith, Tyrese, to name a few. You know, those people were rappers or singers, and then they went full-fledged into Hollywood in the acting department. Lizzo has also tried her hand at this also. Now, Little Mermaid will debut next year, and there is a character by the name of Ursula. She's like a heavy-set sea witch. That part was given to Melissa McCarthy, but Lizzo was quite impressive in her attempt for the role. Okay. And in her audition, at least from what people say, according to Lizzo, she did very well. She almost got it. But you know what? I want to talk about what she says as far as the auditioning part. She says this: "Stay music. Everyone knows I auditioned for Ursula, the Little Mermaid, and I didn't get it. But you know, I'm fine as hell. That has nothing to do with Ursula, but I was down to make Ursula a THOT, shaking ass." Now, let me just say this real quick. That could be taken as a joke, all right? And we know that. But we also know that it's probably not a joke based on who it's coming from, because we've seen Lizzo at TED Talks, Twerk at TED Talks. And so we know that it's most likely not a joke and that it's serious. But I want to talk about, again, because Lizzo speaks out on issues like Black Lives Matter, let's bring it back, because a lot of times when you hear things that are misogynist against women, it's always blamed on men. I talked about the whole thing with, Shay Means and the Tommy Sotomayor thing. She was saying that, all these guys that hate women, you calling women names, disrespectful titles, stuff like that. But what THOT means is that hole over there. Okay. And what Lizzo says is, I wanted to make a Disney character meant for children to be that hole over there. Now, obviously, guys use it. There's Tatiana, whatever. But just like guys use the word bitch. But you know who I hear that use that word more than anybody? I hear women using it all the time. But then you'll come back and talk about how disrespectful men are towards women. And then when you hear that, you look at it and you see that a lot of times nobody is more disrespectful. If you just look at just the reality shows. Because to be fair, anything that depicts women in the negative light, if you do it on social media, if you do it on TV, you're going to get canceled. The only people that can really get away with depicting women in the negative light would be women, and it's pretty much swept underneath the rug. You got Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion with WAP. You got Lizzo and her twerk sessions on Instagram all the time. And then when you want to make Ursula, who is a character, a THOT, why do you have to do that? Why do you want to be known as a THOT? Because the only way that Ursula could be a THOT is if you're one already. But you want people to respect women, right? And especially, let me talk about this because I focus mainly on the Black community. I want to hear Black women understand what somebody is saying about you, because Lizzo speaks on Black issues all the time in a crybaby format, but she speaks about it. She wants to take the Black female image amongst African American women, especially those, and if we want to be real, because Ursula is a bigger character, right? So that's why Lizzo went out for it. She wants to make bigger women, Black women in particular. Hey, let's represent the character as a part of you and depict to the world that, you know what? The Disney character is a THOT. So when people say, Black women I don't know if they're going to be really good wives. They're just breeders. All they are is for a good time. Then you want to step back and say, well, black men are not protecting our image. Why don't you men protect our image? And then what happens is that when you see women going out there doing it, everybody is very quiet. Let me tell you something. I have women in my family who are OBGYNs, Stanford graduates. I also have some in my family that's quite the opposite. But I do know that I have many friends that I have went to college with, women in the professional world, all over the world, with black women from everywhere, different countries. The last thing they want to be portrayed as is this. And let me tell you something. A lot of times as blacks, because we're already at the bottom, many times you don't get to differentiate yourself from the group. Because me being an African-American guy, when I'm showing up in the United States or different places, a lot of times I have to fight this negative stereotype of black men. Like, oh, he's a gangster. Oh, you're not shooting people. Oh, I didn't even know your people did business. I was in Tanzania one time for a vacation. A young lady came up in Swahili. We were outside of Oyster Bay, real nice place. Young lady came up and told the guy I was with, he was driving me around. She said, I didn't know that your people were actually normal folks. I thought all of you guys were drug dealers. So I saw on the national media. Now, obviously, people from the United States, that's not true. But again, you have to, when you're black, you're always fighting the negative stereotypes, especially, even with Nigerians. You got Nigerians anywhere outside the United States. Oh, you guys are all scammers. Oh, you guys are all this, the same thing, right? But why would you want to add to any kind of negative stereotype, especially with black women, like all you guys do, or you're over sexualized, or you're loud, or something like that? You want to speak on the issues that women have, but then you want to go out there and portray them as such. And when you look at a lot of the women that were bigger in the past, Kelly Price, Jill Scott, Angie Stone. We gotta be honest about this. Missy Elliott, these were class acts. Okay? Class acts. Even Aretha Franklin, when she got, in her older years and gained weight, these are class acts. Janet Jackson, when she, sometimes gains a lot of weight, these are class acts. What is wrong with being a normal woman? I mean, because you don't see Adele out there acting like that. When you have talent, your talent stands on your own. But when you have to sexualize yourself and become a thot all the time, you're playing into the stereotypes that racists have for blacks. Number one. Then you want to speak about Black Lives Matter. You can't have it both ways. You can't go out there and emulate what is the negative things about our people and then expect that, oh, you know what? Yeah, so y'all shouldn't be talking about us like that. Well, when you out there twerking on Instagram, you're out there doing the things that make our people look bad, what do you expect? And this is a lot of reasons I think a lot of people don't take people like her seriously. It's hard to. But I will say this. Our people shouldn't be represented by this. But it definitely makes it hard when you have such eyes on you every day. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell, check out the first company at the top. And as you know, the buffoonery remains an all-time high. I'm out.